This is Wednesday night, prayer meeting night. So apropos that, last Friday, after the Food and Drug Administration panel of experts, science, after they recommended approving the J&J coronavirus vaccine, there was a thunder from the heavens. And nobody noticed it apparently except the Archdiocese of New Orleans, because the child molesting priests in that archdiocese and the ones who are not into buggering children offered a differing opinion from that of the Food and Drug Administration. The Archdiocese of New Orleans said, no. If you take the J&J, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, it will be immoral. Now, I forget, is immorality a venal sin or a mortal sin? I'm not sure. The venal sins, if I remember from my Catholic friends as a kid growing up, venal sin was something you could pray away. But a mortal sin really puts your ass in danger. So I'm not sure what this would be. But the Archdiocese of New Orleans said in a statement on Friday the following, quote, "The Archdiocese must instruct Catholics that the latest vaccine from Janssen and Johnson & Johnson, really, is morally compromised as it uses the abortion-derived cell line in development and production of the vaccine as well as the testing," end quote. Well, that puts a nail in that coffin, right? Now, I think what they're talking about uses an abortion cell line, or abortion-derived cell line, stem cells from years and years and years ago that have entered into wide use in medical research. Just like Mrs. Henrietta Lack's cancer cells were used, I think it was her cancer cells, were used in a long line and in treating various cancers or attempt to treat it. And Henrietta Lack was never asked her permission, and this has been in use now, her cell line, for what, 75 years, 70 years, long time. And the reason she wasn't asked, of course, is because she's an African-American woman. We don't ask them shit. If we want something, we just take it. Of course, that was 2 generations ago, right? Yeah. Anyway, the decision by the Archdiocese of New Orleans. See, once again, here comes this religious bullshit sticking its nose where its nose does not belong. It really doesn't. Not in the world of science. You people are absolutely opposed to science by definition. You cannot believe in science and believe in religious bullshit at the same time, unless you have learned the complete and full application of doublethink, where you can hold 2 radically opposing, if not mutually canceling, ideas at the same time in your little pumpkin head and keep functioning. I've never been able to do that. Anyway, the decision by the Archdiocese of New Orleans, though, could put those folks in New Orleans, the church people, in conflict with the Vatican and Pope Francis. Now, the Vatican and Pope Francis together, I don't know what they mean by that. The Vatican it's an area, it's a collection of buildings, but what the hell? Pope Francis has been aggressively pro-vaccine. In fact, last December, according to the New York Times, I think, the Vatican approved the use of vaccines, quote, that have used cell lines from aborted fetuses in the research and production process, end quote. Well, and that line was added to with this, it's morally acceptable, end quote. Well, really, morally acceptable, and it's okay. Although His Eminence Pope Francis has yet to specifically address the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So we're not quite sure. This must put Catholics in a very difficult place, especially if you live in New Orleans. What to do? What to do? My parish priest says it's immoral. The Pope says, get it. Now, some houses of worship are hosting vaccination centers. I don't know if they're Catholic, these so-called houses of worship, these cult centers. I know a lot of Protestant places are. But the advice could affect distribution efforts in New Orleans and drive people away from this Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which so far appears to be a single-dose vaccine that stops death and hospitalization from COVID-19 in its tracks. It may not prevent you from getting ill, but you won't wind up in the hospital and you won't wind up dead, according to the research on Johnson & Johnson. So now health officials are telling Americans to take whichever vaccine dose is available. I mentioned the other night, I haven't gotten mine yet. I'm still waiting for my medical provider, which is connected to Emory Medical Center here in Atlanta, to call me up and tell me where to go. So far, haven't heard a thing. I hope I soon do. Anyway, Dr. Fauci, our top infectious disease doctor, was on NBC's Meet the Press 2 days ago, and he said, quote, if you go to a place and you have Johnson & Johnson, and that's the one that's available now, I would take it. He added, I think people need to get vaccinated as quickly and as expeditiously as possible. Well, I completely agree, because the more we avoid vaccinations, the more people continue to get infected by this virus. And I realize the numbers are down right now, but I think that is a result of final leveling off from the mad, insane holiday bullshit of Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, where tens of thousands of people died who really didn't need to, and hundreds of thousands of people got ill who really didn't need to. But, you know, who are you going to believe? Your friendly bar owner who says, come on in, fuck the masks? Or Dr. Fauci, who says, no, you need to keep wearing the masks? Such a problem. Who are you going to believe? Your friendly bar owner or the head of the nation's infectious diseases division of public health? That's a real challenge. You got to pick one. Now, there is a long-standing debate, as you know, over the acceptance of vaccines and treatments that use fetal tissue. And it centers on, this is interesting, on what are defined as HEK 293. Heck, 293 cells, which are cloned from an aborted fetus from 1972? Oh my goodness. That's according to Religion News Service. Now, the cells used now, such as those in the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, are not from the original fetal tissue anyway. I mean, if you spend 40 years or 50 years cloning, you start with A and you go through the alphabet 17, 18 times and you're at Z once again for the 25th time, how in the hell can it be assumed that you're still dealing with the original fetal tissue? Well, the quick answer is you're not. But never mind, where it concerns Christians, they don't give a shit about any fact or truth like that. However, not all Christians. In the case of the COVID-19 vaccine, so an official announcement from the Vatican said, quote, they can be used in good conscience, end quote, which is because of the severity of the pandemic. And according to the readers of tea leaves in the Vatican, the vaccine's connection to the original abortion in 1972 is, well, how to put this? Remote. if not non-existent. Now, Pope Francis took the Pfizer vaccine. And last month, the governor of Vatican City said employees who don't take a vaccine are going to get your asses fired. That's what's going to happen. Take the vaccine. Yeah, that's one thing that you can say for Christian fascism in its varied forms. When the head connection between God and man speaks, well, you better goddamn do it immediately. No argument, no debate, no questioning. Just do it. That's what we need here, right? That's what we're heading towards. Only not where it concerns the sensible actions of public health. No. So anyway, back to the Archdiocese of New Orleans, bless their hearts, they said it agreed with the Vatican's approval of the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines because they used only the cloned stem cells for testing. So it was okay. Talk about how many angels are dancing on the head of a pin. Jesus. So these people, some of these Catholic archdiocese bishops and archbishops who sit around, they're like old rabbis, these old Jews who sit around questioning Torah their entire lives. Well, what do you think Samuel meant when he said... And that's the Jewish version. The Christian version is, they only use cloned stem cells. I keep wanting to say stoned Clem cells. They only use cloned stem cells for testing. So only the people who participate in the testing, I guess, are going to go to hell. I don't know. But the New Orleans Archdiocese said it agreed with the Vatican's approval of the other two vaccines because of the cloned stem cells used only in testing. But the Archdiocese singled out Johnson & Johnson's vaccine for using the cells in manufacturing as well as testing. How many angels on the head of a pin? Oh, my God. But last year, the Vatican issued an advisory that said a vaccine that is, this was their word, produced with those cells is in fact admissible. The Archdiocese of New Orleans said, just a goddamn minute, we don't agree with that. They issued a statement that said this, quote, we advise that if the Moderna or Pfizer vaccine is available, Catholics should choose to receive either of those vaccines rather than to receive the demon-infested hell gate wide open, destroy your soul, eat your goddamn immortality to pieces new Johnson & Johnson vaccine because of its extensive use of abortion-derived cell lines, end quote. Well, a lot of that in the middle of the statement is bullshit. I just threw that in. So the Washington Post got in touch with the Vatican looking for an answer. Well, I mean, New Orleans, for Christ's sake, isn't 90% of the people in New Orleans Catholic to begin with? All that French influence, right? Oui? Non? Anyway, a Vatican spokesperson did not respond to a message from the Post. However, hot damn, here we go. Some Catholic clergy have gone further. Bishop Joseph Strickland well, here's a surprise. Guess where Bishop Joseph Strickland is? What state? Go ahead, guess. Right, Texas. But anyway, he's a bishop over there in Tyler, Texas, and he tweeted repeatedly that Catholics should not take any of the 3 vaccines. No, shit, no. This guy wants you to hurry up and die. He tweeted in January, this crazy bastard, quote, the fact remains that any, all caps, any vaccines available today involves using murdered children before they could even be born. Holy God. He went on in his tweet, I renew my pledge. I will not extend my life by using murdered children. This is evil. Wake up. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.